The Knicks just finished beating the Chicago Bulls by the score of 113 to 111 in their first game post All-Star game break. And Deuce McBride is definitely one of the key components that the Knicks are going to need to focus on during the last stretch of the NBA season to see how far we can go into the playoffs. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel. You guys know the drill. You guys know the vibes. New York or nowhere. Queens or nowhere. Queens get the money. But before we get into today's video, I want to remind you guys that around 68% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. Whatever you're doing right now, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to be up to date with all the injury news, rumors, reports, post-game analysis from Chris and I. Hit that subscription button and let's get into today's video. So, the number one thing that I took away from today's game against the Chicago Bulls, I mean, it's definitely Deuce McBride. Yo, the way Deuce is playing right now, this is what I want to see from Deuce. There were certain points in the game. We had Deuce out there on the floor. We had Cam Payne and we had Landry Shamet. Precious Achiuwa started today. Josh Hart didn't play today because knee injury. I don't know exactly how to pronounce the name, but it's also known as, I think, jumper's knee. So Josh Hart didn't play today. OG Anunoby is still recovering from his sore right foot, I believe it is. So Precious Achiuwa started and Deuce McBride started. But like I just said, there were points in today's game where I saw Cam Payne, Landry Shamet, and Deuce McBride and Precious Achiuwa all out there on the floor. And what really stood out to me is just our depth. Our depth is something that I'm so worried about. And now that the post All-Star game break is here, teams are trying to hit the ground running. Every team in the NBA has around 25 to 30 games remaining. So this is the time where it's really go time. It's really to start getting into rhythm, start really getting into the flow for the coaches to really start implementing defensive schemes, offensive schemes. The 7 to 8 players that you're going to be using down the stretch of the season. But the way Deuce came to play today, my guy, 23 points, 9 of 19 from the floor, 5 of 12 from three-point line, grabbing 6 rebounds, dishing out 3 assists in the 42 minutes that he played today. What I liked from Deuce, I liked seeing this. I've been saying this all season long with Deuce, especially with that season opener against the Boston Celtics. His confidence this year is something that I'm so impressed with. Now, you guys in the comments, you guys, of course, might be saying that the playoffs are different from the regular season, and I 100% agree with that. But I think I'm going to put my trust in Deuce, man. I think Deuce has the confidence within himself to really, you could tell that he's playing, and he's playing like he belongs there. And last year, like, it seemed like Deuce was there were moments in the season where he was playing to not make a mistake. And this time around, like, he's just out there balling. Like, he knows that he's gonna be able to be his man off the dribble. Now, again, it was the Chicago Bulls. You know, there were times Josh Giddey was guarding Deuce. There were times where Kobe White was guarding Deuce, and neither one of those players are really known as defensive players. But Deuce's confidence is just really impressing me. And on top of that, the Chicago Bulls, like, they're just, for some reason, they just always give us fits. They always give us a hard time, and it took us overtime to beat them tonight. But Deuce McBride is definitely one of the highlights that I saw in tonight's game. As far as the other starting 5, we got Jalen Brunson with 22 points, 8 of 21 from the floor, 2 of 9 from three-point line, converting all 4 of his free throws, grabbing 3 rebounds, dishing out 12 assists in the 38 minutes that he played. Cat had 32 points. He was 14 of 30 from the floor, 2 of 10 from three-point line. Yikes. 2 of 4 from the free throw line, grabbing 18 rebounds, dishing out 2 assists with 2 steals in the 43 minutes. Mikal Bridges. As much as I love what I'm seeing from Deuce, the exact opposite could be said about Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges tonight, 13 points, 6 of 16 from the floor, 1 of 5 from three-point line, attempting no free throws, grabbing 10 rebounds, 5 assists in the 44 minutes that he played. He had a double-double of 13 and 10, but I did this in one of my more recent videos where I talked about the first 10 games post-All-Star game break. Today is Chicago. We got that W. Tomorrow we're going to be in Cleveland with a back-to-back. The game after Cleveland is Boston. Like, the Knicks, and more specifically, Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges, we really need you to get into gear. There's no more waiting around. And in that video, I talked about Mikal Bridges and how we specifically need Mikal to be night in and night out. We need him. In the video, I believe I said 15 to 25 points. And as I rewatched the video, I was kind of regretting not saying 18 to 25 points. I think Mikal Bridges, we need him to be around 18 to 25 points for the rest of the season. And tonight with 13 and 10, 6 of 16 from the floor, 1 of 5 from three-point line, it's just not going to cut it, man. And then you get into the conversations of what we gave up for him in the offseason. 5 first-round picks, Bogdanovich. When I'm just looking at the depth of this team, especially with Josh Hart being out and Precious Achiuwa, but Precious Achiuwa being in the starting lineup alongside Deuce McBride, because Josh Hart and OG Anunoby are not in the starting lineup right now. If Mikal Bridges is not able to step up, we have no chance. We absolutely have no chance against the better teams. And specifically in the Eastern Conference, we have no chance against Boston and Cleveland. Mikal Bridges, we need you to be, when he was in Brooklyn, the first year he got to Brooklyn, he played like half a season because that Kevin Durant trade was around Super Bowl. So that was like around February. So he had he had a half a season, and within that half season, people were really starting to question Mikal Bridges. Like, oh my God, could it be a number one guy? The way he was getting his buckets, the points that he was averaging, that was the conversation, that was the narrative around his name. And then the following season, he had a full season with the Brooklyn Nets where he was the number one option, and the conversation is kind of like everybody just came back down to normal, and everybody was like, oh, maybe he's not that number one option. And then the trade for Mikal from from the Brooklyn Nets to the New York Knicks, and there's just been a lot of noise around Mikal Bridges. Christmas Day, he had that 40-point offensive explosion against the Spurs. But then ever since Christmas Day, man, it's just been such a roller coaster with him. And this season is really it's Eastern Conference Finals, man. We really need to make a statement, and the statement is Eastern Conference Finals. We can't get to the second round and lose again, especially with the acquisition of Cat and Mikal Bridges, and with Josh Hart dealing with this jumper's knee. I think I read somewhere that he's going to be able to play through it, but tonight they just, I guess, wanted to play it. They wanted to keep it cautious, so they gave him a day off, and it was against the Chicago Bulls. Even though Chicago has been giving us fits, Chicago, they're kind of in retooling mode. So I understand why Josh Hart didn't play, but we just need Mikal Bridges to really get going. And I'm not even going to mention Precious Achiuwa because I'm just so off him, and I'm tired of picking out examples for you guys of how bad Precious Achiuwa is. There were multiple points in this game where he couldn't hit a layup. He was driving down the middle of the lane and he would just lose the ball. Whatever. Leave it in the comments about how I'm a hater of Precious Achiuwa, but I'm never going to believe in Precious Achiuwa. So, having said all that, this is the first game post All-Star game break. Mitchell Robinson. The report on Mitchell Robinson is that he's going to be coming back around the beginning of March towards the middle of March. So we have around like a week and a half, 2 weeks to play these games, and then we're going to start seeing the implementation of Mitchell Robinson. It's exciting, and we're finally going to be able to see what this Knicks team can actually look like when we have all of our pieces. OG Anunoby, from the reports that I've been seeing, is looking like he's progressing positively. The reports I saw was, one, Mitchell Robinson was cleared for 5-on-5, and I believe it was contact. And OG Anunoby, I've seen that he's been progressing positively. So I was a little worried about the OG Anunoby injury prior to the All-Star game break. But listen, man, this W is definitely a great way to start the post-All-Star game break. Ariel Hukporti, one of the last points I'll make before I wrap up today's video. Ariel Hukporti got 17 minutes, and the box score isn't looking great. 2 points. He hit his only one field goal attempt, which I believe was a floater in the first half. I think it was in the first half. He grabbed 5 rebounds. So it's 2 points, 5 rebounds in the 17 minutes he played. Yeah, the last few games, going back to prior the All-Star game break, it seems like Coach Tibbs is trusting him a little bit more, which is great to see. And especially with Mitchell Robinson being out, it's pretty much Precious, Cat, and Ariel Hukporti. But again, at the end of the day, Ariel Hukporti is a rookie, so we got to remember that. And we all know Coach Tibbs' relationship with rookies. But I do like what I saw from Ariel Hukporti. I just wish that he was a little bit more offensively minded. He's more offensively minded than Precious, and definitely than Jericho Sims. But RIP Jericho Sims, you're now in Milwaukee, so we don't have to talk about you anymore. But I just wish Ariel Hukporti was a little offensive minded, man. Like, whenever you get the ball at the top of the key, look at the rim. See if there's an opportunity to take your man off the dribble, because Ariel Hukporti has been able to display some sort of skills within that. He showed us tonight that he had a little floater game. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm different, man. But me, man, I'm just different. My mind is always, as soon as I catch the ball, I'm looking at the rim. I'm seeing if I could put the ball on the floor. I'm seeing if I have a shot, a mid range, a 3-point shot, and then put me in down low on the block. I got a little Hakeem the Dream. Man, I miss playing ball. Whatever. Anyway, wrapping up today's video. Listen, great way to start the post All-Star break with the W against Chicago. Now tomorrow it's a back-to-back. We're gonna be going to Cleveland. Tomorrow is definitely an interesting game to watch. It's an interesting measuring stick to see where we are. I mean, we still don't have Mitchell Robinson. OG is going to be out. Josh Hart, I'm not sure. I don't think he's going to play. If he didn't play today and it's a back-to-back against Cleveland, I don't think he's going to play. But it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to step up. I fully expect Jalen Brunson, Cat to definitely do their thing, but who's going to help them out, especially going up against the best team in the Eastern Conference. So, but that's it for today's video, guys. I want to say thank you so much for checking it out. Leave in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about the Knicks' effort tonight against the Chicago Bulls. And you guys know the drill. Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs. The Deuce is loose for co-MVP. Yo, Deuce, keep doing your thing, bro. Keep that confidence up. We need it for the remainder of the season. I always want to see you with this confidence. I don't care if you play 10 to 15 minutes or if you play tonight like you did 42 minutes. Keep this confidence up. Take dudes off the dribble. Pull up when you have the shot. I want to see this from you. We need to have somebody coming off the bench that we can rely on. And I think that could be you, but I don't want to see this confidence waning, going up and down. But I know you can do it. OG Anunoby for a speedy recovery. Taj Gibson for president. And Queens forever. Queens all day, every day. Queen, get the money. I'm out. Peace.